Satan puts uh, bounties on the chosen ones, man. He really does. He likes to target the chosen ones, and he's out here, man, like destroying chosen people's lives. You know, and they have many names. The fat cats, the 1%ers. The Luciferian bloodlines. You know, there's evil people. There's the evil ones are out here, man, and they look like humans, but they're not humans. They run a lot of the stuff in this matrix system. They run a lot of stuff. They control a lot of stuff. That's why they want us to be distracted. You know, they're very, very. There's people that are rich for a reason. Billionaires. Collect. Collecting souls, collecting uh, witches and warlocks and high-ranking wizards. High-ranking demonic task forces that are out here looking for chosen ones to destroy their lives. Reptilian devils, bloodlines. This is what I'm talking about. Those things are real. They're actually out here, man. And when you don't have God, they could control you. They could control your mind. They could destroy you. If you have if you live in a community and you have family that are narcissistic, you have a community that's very just plain old demonic, and you could just feel it in the air. You could just feel everything going on, and you just feel like you're being attacked and monitored. That means you're in a very dark community that you need to get out of. There's people out there, man, that do witchcraft and pray to their gods like Bel and Molech, and they have their altars and shrines, and they go in the dark and do things in secret to destroy you. Especially chosen ones. Some people just look at you and don't like you just because you have a certain calling inside of you. You have a certain light inside of you. So they're gonna go home and do witchcraft on you just because people make most of these witches make a lot of money by destroying people's lives. Witches. And then you got the fat cats. You got the devils. The reptilians. They're the ones that provide it all. They're out here roaming among us. And they throw a lot of propaganda towards us in media, news to scare us. That's what they feed off our fear. It's like they feed off our fear. So when we give them fear, they that's why it's important not to watch certain things, man. Or do certain things, because there's things that could put fear in you, man. Especially drugs. Scary movies, sexual morality, pornography. You're building an emotional. You're making yourself. Uh, uh, you're putting darkness, man. Like in your heart, man. The heart is very deceitful, man. It's very deceiving, and it's very you know it's the heart, man. And it's not what goes in, it's what comes out. You know, and we really need God, man. Because if we don't have God, man, we could be plain old evil and do things that we're not supposed to do. You know, there's a lot of things that people do black magic. Pray to fallen angels, and that's what they do. Chosen ones, man. That's what they do. You know, they were doing that to me, and God was showing me what they were doing to me. You know, and they were trying to take me out, man. They were trying to take me out. You know, do a public humiliation, man. And they were trying to do that stuff, man. Mind control, man. Mind control games. to control you to do things that are evil when you don't have God. You know, chaos in the family, narcissistic families. My family was very chaotic, man. Narcissist. And I'm telling you, you know, my mom, my dad, my brothers, man, you know, we're lukewarm, you know, lukewarm, man. And if you have like, you don't have your ways being a Christian, and you're just doing whatever you want, going out, partying, doing drugs, smoking weed, hanging out with bad friends, it's not gonna get nowhere, man. You know, when I was doing all those things back then, you know, it was like rough, man. You know, it was tough because there was so much things going on. You know, especially like you know, gang banging. You know, putting fear in somebody's heart. You know, parking your car somewhere, coming out of work, and you're just like, man, I gotta go home, and I feel scared to go home. That's the enemy, man. I'm telling you, he really likes to put fear in you. He wants you to self-sabotage. He wants you to lose your job. He wants you to lose your ways. He wants you to stay home and not do anything. You know, he wants you to do those things. You know, and we don't want to fall short, man. You know, we don't want to fall short with the devil, man. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, yeah, I mutilated myself. I a lot of sexual immorality, perversion, lust. You know, a lot of addictions with drugs, pornography. You know, watching a lot of porno. You know, and all those things, man, just lead to more problems. You know, it leads to more problems, and it's gonna take you out eventually. It's gonna take you out eventually. So we wanna stay away from those stuff, man. It's not gonna help us out. See what I'm saying? So so we really wanna protect ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, we really wanna put that the full armor of God, man, to withstand the wiles of the devil. You know, there's bounties, man. I'm telling you, there's bounties. There's a bounty on me. You know, there was a bounty on me from the elites, man. I'm telling you, and they're still right there in my apartment, man. You know, and God's fighting right now. He's fighting the battle right now. You know, because Satan, man, wants to collect. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, and I talked about my secret sins on the other video, and I would like to talk about it more. You know, but I'm talking about this right now. What's going on? Letting you know. You know what what's going on, man. You know, there's bounties for chosen ones. You know, especially if you have a calling, they're gonna try to take you out. You know, the elites target people, man. I'm telling you, the elites, they target certain individuals, and you wouldn't even realize that they're trying to take you out. They're trying to take you out because they know you have a high calling, and you have a lot of you know, you're a valuable asset. God's, you know, God chose you, and He loves you. So I'm letting you know that there's dangerous people out, dangerous devils out here that do these things, man. So we really want to put the full armor on to withstand the wiles of the devil, because the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. I'll praise the Most High.